Okay, I assume we're on. Welcome everyone to the December 2020 meeting of the Town of Tecumseh Committee of Adjustment. And the first item on the agenda is roll call. Donna, can you introduce the new members for us, please?
Yes, I can. So we've had two new members appointed by council as of the last council meeting. It's Daniel Hofgardner and Paul Jobin. So we're pleased to have them join us this evening.
Thanks, Donna. And Lori is not with us this evening. She excused herself because of work commitments.
That's correct. As well as the last meeting, I misspoke. She did notify me by email for the last meeting, and she was not in attendance at that meeting.
Okay, great. So on behalf of the committee, I'd like to welcome Paul and Daniel to the committee. You have my sympathies. You're on the committee now. Chris and Tom and Tony are other members that are here tonight. So that's the roll call. So I'll call the meeting to order, given that. At this point, we ask if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest on any items of the agenda this evening. And not seeing any hands up, I'll assume none. The minutes of our November 23rd meeting were pre-circulated. Any motion on those minutes?
I'll move.
Tom Marintet?
I'll second.
Tony? Any addition, deletion, correction? All in favor? Just rate, okay. I got a thumbs up and okay, so carried. So this evening we had two applications on the agenda. I think we'll just let's deal with the Cove Drive one, the proponent, and I think members of administration both agreed that we should defer that. Is there any recommendation on how long, Chad?
Mr. Chair, just until we get a chance to meet with the IRCA representative that's responsible for providing those comments and anyone else in that organization to get a sense of what the issues exactly are with respect to safe access and to the proximity to the floodway. We hope to set up a meeting this week and be back on the agenda with that application in January, but that's provided everything goes well.
Okay. So we'll say motion to defer pending being put back on the agenda. Somebody? Tom and Chris? I saw your hand up, Chris.
Yes, I'll second.
All in favor? Carried. So the other application we have this evening is for 2559 Banwell Road. Donna?
Application for minor variance A1720, Melvin and Kimberly Freeman, 2559 Banwell Road. The purpose of the application is to request relief from the following subsections of zoning bylaw 85-18. Subsection 15.2.4E establishes that the minimum front yard depth for residential dwellings on an agricultural lot is 15 meters, 49.21 feet, and subsection 15.2.4F establishes that the minimum side yard width for residential dwellings on an agricultural lot is 3 meters, 9.84 feet. The applicants are proposing to construct additions to the existing dwelling that will result in a front yard depth of 13.9 meters, 45.66 feet, and a northerly side yard width of 2.3 meters, 7.7 feet. The proposed additions to the existing dwelling will result in a total building area of 281.22 square meters, 3,027 square feet. The existing detached garage and garden shed are to be demolished. The subject property is designated low-density residential in the Sandwich South official plan and zoned agricultural in the Sandwich South zoning bylaw. See the sketch attached. The notice of hearing for the above submission was circulated to landowners within a radius of 60 meters, 200 feet of the subject property. A list of said owners is on file. Notice of hearing with a sketch attached was sent to the applicant, each council member, clerk, Public Works and Engineering Department, Planning and Building Services, Fire Department, and all required agencies, and each member of the Committee of Adjustment. No concerns from IRCA. The town's engineer comments are in the planning report.
Okay, thank you, Donna. I see the Freemans are here. Who is it? Rob, are you here for this?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Are you
The designer.
the designer? Okay. So usually at this point I ask if there's anything that the proponents, which would be the Freemans or you, Rob, want to add to the discussion that hasn't already been shown in the documents that are provided to the committee.
We have nothing at this time.
Okay.
Like I said, the only thing is we have to encroach on the side yard is to get as you can see, I'm not sure if you guys have the floor plans, but is to get the bedrooms to fit on that side of the house, because it makes most sense putting the bedrooms on that house versus the other side where they want the garage and kitchen, existing kitchen and utilities are.
Okay.
So the only issues would be at the back of the proposed addition. We're about 2 foot 1.5 inches over the side yard setback.
Okay. Members of the committee have a question or a comment? Anybody? Tom?
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the applicants, I guess your designer has given comment as to why the variance is required, so that's great. Having been to the site, I see the lot lines are staked out and there's ample property there. I mean, what you're proposing looks great, and I think it suits the site. So at the time, I'd be happy to support this motion.
Okay, there's no motion yet, but if you want to make one, we can do that.
Yeah, at the time.
Okay. Anybody else? Tony?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I guess my question would be for the applicant. Where is the location of your current septic system?
Rob, would you like to answer that?
No, I believe it's on the front, but Kim would
Yeah.
be able to better.
Is that?
Let me
search
answer it. It's in the front, right in front of the proposed bedroom in the addition, the first bedroom at the front of the property. We would have to move the septic tank from that location.
Okay, I guess because my follow-up question to that would be, I guess in the engineering comments, there is a pipe that runs north-south, and it says it is on private property there. So I'm just wondering the location of where that pipe would be located on the property, if you do know that.
I don't know that at this time. I don't know about a pipe.
Okay.
Chad, can you help us with that?
Sure, Mr. Chair. I gathered from the engineer's comments that the pipe was not going to conflict with what they're proposing to do. He said it runs north-south. I believe it was closer to Banwell Road. But yeah, I don't believe that there's a conflict with that pipe that the engineer was referring to.
Is that just a culvert in the roadside drain?
It's possible. It wasn't clear.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, in the
it's
comments,
an enclosed municipal drain.
Right.
on the comments from the engineering, it says is located on the private property, just west of the west
Less,
limit.
yeah.
So that's where I was kind of wondering where it was located on the private property, if the homeowners knew.
It's very common for those drains, roadside drains or municipal drains, to be on
Private
private
property.
property in
Yep.
Santa South anyway.
Yeah, and Mr. Chair, that's even more common where there's a narrow right of way. And sometimes they have to go outside of the right of way to enclose or to incorporate municipal infrastructure like that. So yeah, I gathered again from the engineer's comments, it was just to the west of the limit of the right of way and wouldn't conflict with the actual construction of the dwelling of the proposed additions.
So it's at the front of the front yard. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Tom, you're on.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to support the application as it does meet the 4 tests. I think the drawings and the applicant have demonstrated that it suits the property and it's the minor in nature.
Okay, supported by Tony. Oh, got to be quicker, Dan. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. Thank you very much. There's a 20-day waiting period, Donna?
Yes, there is, and the notice will be sent out in the mail on Friday, so you should receive it sometime next week.
Okay. All right.
So I
Thank you
can
very-
accept the drawing, apply for a building permit?
You can apply, but you probably won't get one until the
You can
20
s-
days are up and there's no
Okay,
opposition.
Yeah, once the 20 days are up, I provide the building department with notification and I provide them with a copy of your minor variance. So then they can proceed with it, but absolutely you can submit your building permit application.
okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks very much. That's the end of that part of our agenda. Let me just find my, here it is, agenda. So there is no unfinished business. The new business, Donna, the memberships for 2021.
Just wanted to let everybody know that they're starting to get emails from the Ontario Association of Committee of Adjustments. And as in the past, registration will take place in January. I will send out an email and let you know when you can register for that. It just makes it easier for finance for budget purposes if we just wait until the new year. We have up until the end of March to register for 2021.
Okay, for the new members, there is an association of Committee of Adjustments, which is a province-wide organization. And members are always registered into that. Sometimes, short of the COVID, depends on how quick the vaccine gets here. Sometimes there is a annual meeting where we would go to a site and meet with our peers across the province and get some training and find out what's new in the province's thinking about developments and severances and so on. It remains to be seen whether there'll be one this year, or maybe it may be that it will be virtual. Paul Moran, who one of you guys replaced, would ordinarily I'd call on him to ask us or tell us what's in the plan for that, but he has retired, and so we'll have to wing it. We'll have to wait for them to tell us what's going on there. So the other item was, what was it, Donna? Oh, the official plan.
Yeah, just follow up from the minutes there. There was a request that it be put on the agenda for this evening in the event that any of the members had any follow-up questions from the review from the last meeting.
I have only, as you can guess, Chad, I have one question, and that is, I'm wondering if in your deliberations, you discovered how many 200-acre pieces of farmland there are, because as I understand it, under the new document, you would have to have 200 acres to get a farm severance. So did you guys actually look
Yeah.
at that?
Yeah, and Mr. Chair, we did, and unfortunately, I can't give you the precise number. It was very low, though. You know, there's, and I don't even want to guess at it right now, but I can, you know, I'll have that information for you at the next meeting, or I'll ask Donna to email that to you. But there was such a low number of really large farm lots. And the discussion or the deliberations that we had with the planning committee that was overseeing the county agricultural lot size study was that it was important to protect the remaining large farm parcels that we have left as a agricultural resource. It was viewed as a resource, and it was viewed that because there were so few left across the entire county, not just in the town of Tecumseh, that was important to establish a higher minimum lot area for those that remain. But it wasn't going to have a huge impact on the opportunities for farm splits because there were so few large parcels left.
Well, yeah, I guess where I'm going with this is, why do you allow any at all if you have to have 200 acres and there aren't any? So if you go into a rezoning, that's how you could actually do some development on ag property. We just had a severance last meeting, which was on the edge of a farm property, on the edge of a developed area, that wouldn't meet that criteria. It isn't big enough. So
Trying to remember which one that was.
I'm just wondering why go to all the effort of putting in rules and regulations for something that's probably never going to happen.
You know, it was partially based on a recommendation from the Ministry of Agriculture and Food and Rural Affairs. It was established at 100 acres for this area, represented an appropriate lot size, farm lot size, minimum lot size. So it was partially based on that, and then that recommendation was assessed against the inventory of agricultural lots, and it was ultimately decided that 100 acres for the farm split was the appropriate size. So there are still some opportunities for it, but they're very limited in scope.
Okay. Did you guys come up with any questions about this since in November? Nobody is? Okay, so we'll just note and file that, I guess, Donna?
Yeah, I've got it noted.
Okay. And I think I got to figure out an easy way to get this to come up without killing my thing. Okay, so we've reached the end of the agenda, so if somebody wants to move adjournment. Nobody wants to adjourn? Oh, Tom, okay. And Daniel? Okay. All in favor? Opposed, carried.
Welcome to the new members.
Yep. So